But now it's time to go to Weija, and we've got David Kwekusechi over there. He is right in the midst of the water. My heart is beating just seeing him. David, good morning.
Hi. Good morning, Happy. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm very well.
I can't see your feet.
Well, look here. I'm wearing boots. So I'm wearing Wellingtons, and it's been a long time since I wore Wellington, so it's kind of interesting and exciting at the same time. But it's rather disappointing to see what we are looking at here. You can see in the background here. You can see there's a school in the back here, yes. Talented Royals. Can you see the school?
Yes, I can. Talented Royals International School.
Good. So Talented Royals International is actually the school that DJ Switch went to school here. So it's a quite a big and popular school within the community. But the school's flooded. The entire enclave here, stretching all the way towards, the SCC area. And right now where we are is actually known as Tatop. Tatop here is just, when you're coming from McCarthy Hill, towards Weija, you cross the old the old barrier junction, and then you just climb across the bridge, and we're not far from that point. Okay, so this is the neighborhood within which we find ourselves. So just to give people context, we are not far from the old barrier. We crossed the old barrier maybe like a minute or two back.
And when you say the old barrier, we're talking about the old Weija barrier. That's right, for those who are at least familiar with the area. Yes. Okay. But let's just give some context to this conversation and the reason why you're out there in Weija this morning, David.
Yeah.
The Weija Dam has been spilled, and for those who are familiar with what happens whenever the Weija Dam has been spilled over the past years, and it's not 1 year, it's not 2 years, this has been an issue for many years. For those living in Ghana, we hear it, we read the stories. For those, of course, who live in the area, they experience it. But in the past decade or so, the Weija Dam, the operators of the dam have only spilt through 2 gates of the dam. The dam has 4 gates. They spilt only through 2 gates. But this time, there have been lots of rains around the country, not just in Weija. Throughout the past couple of weeks, we've seen flooding situations in the upper parts of the country. Over the past 2 days, we've spoken about the Jabin area in the eastern region. We've spoken to our regional correspondent there. So all over the country, we've been dealing with floods, indeed, in the Greater Accra region. And so because of the flooding and the way it has presented itself this year, the operators of the Weija Dam have had to spill through all 4 gates, which means that you're doubling, more or less, the volume of the water. And that's the kind of devastation that we're seeing this morning. So, David, I've seen a lot of people walking next to you.
Yeah.
I saw a lady holding up her dress. Are these people going to work? Are they going to school? How are people coping there?
Yeah, well, it looks very challenging for a lot of people. I have actually a lady here who is being helped by her sons and some neighbors helping her out of the neighborhood because she's actually on her way to the hospital. Because of that, she doesn't really want to engage us on camera. But it's very...
I see somebody waving behind you.
Yes.
Waving.
It's very tough for a lot of people, and that's the one you can see. She's heading out to the hospital now, and unfortunately, these are the situations that people find themselves in right here, and having to wade through these waters. And of course, that the Densu has been overflowing its banks, and as you were saying, it's a ripple effect. And because of the Densu's overflowing its banks, it's like an attempt to prevent the Weija from also breaking, barriers. So it's like if you open and you spill, it will allow the water from upstream to also flow through, and I think we should have preempted this at least a week or 2 ago, because the rains that did not just start. you know, and I think our engineers and those working on this, we should have preempted this a few days ago, and then rather done a slower spillage, you know, because like you said, we've done spillages in the past. This is not the first time we're doing spillages, but what's happening is that the spillage has been done too fast, too quickly, too much too quickly, you know, and so because of that, we have this situation here. So I'm going to go further in. I'm trusting the road beneath me, and I'm going to go. As you can see,
please
these are
be
flower
careful.
beds. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so David, you know what?
Beds.
I'm going to come back to you.
Yes,
I mean, while you wait,
okay,
you know, and try to get to some more stable and level ground. We'll come back to you because we just want to go through our dailies this morning and then also do our sports segment.
Okay.
All right. So, viewers, there you have it. My co-host David Kwekusechi is at Weija. The Weija Dam has been spilled through 4 gates when usually they would be spilling through 2, and you can see the amount of devastation, the level of the water. I mean, I'm sure as David goes on and when we speak to him some more, you see how gravely people have been affected. People have had to carry their things, carry them on their head. We've had reports coming in since yesterday, just trying to get away from the water and save their lives. That's really what it is at this moment. It's gone into survival mode. It's not a normal day for people in the Weija community. So we will come back to David and talk to him. But welcome back. This is still Breakfast Daily right here on Citi TV. And of course, the show is interactive. If you need to send us a WhatsApp message, we particularly want to hear from those of you who live within Ghana and specifically in the Weija area as the Weija Dam has been spilled. We want to hear what you're going through, how you're coping. If you are watching us, if you can hear us, do send us a WhatsApp message 0550-585-832. And of course, if you want to join the conversation from outside of Ghana, use the country code +233. Also, the hashtag Breakfast Daily across all social media platforms grants you access to us, and we will put your voice out there. Now it's time to go back to David, my co-host at Weija. He's there where the Weija Dam has been spilled. If you're just joining us, the situation there is that the Weija Dam has been spilled, perennially, and usually they would spill through 2 gates out of the 4. This time, because of the floods, the overflooding of the banks of the Densu River and the eastern region and whatnot, this time, we are seeing that the waters have been spilled through all 4 gates, and it's wreaking havoc in the Weija area. Yesterday, we saw reports of somebody sitting in a wheelchair, for example, having to be carried to higher ground. We saw residents carrying things on top of their heads, just trying to find space away from the water. People's houses have been flooded, schools have been flooded. It's really not a great situation out there at Weija. And David is particularly at Ashbred in the Weija community. So I'll go to David. David.
Yes.
Hi.
Abiako.
Yes.
Yes. So it's a very devastating situation that we find ourselves in here. For us, we came here to come and experience what it is that the residents are experiencing, and it's horrible. You don't want to be living in this kind of environment. And a lot of people are deciding, they are choosing to leave the neighborhood and find respite elsewhere till the waters recede. And then
do you have any idea where people are going?
They're going to family living elsewhere. Some of them are moving to the Bawe area. Some of them are moving further afield. I have Richard here. He is leaving home. Let me find out from him exactly where he will be going to. Richard, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you.
So, Richard, where are you heading out to now?
Oh, actually, now I'm heading to Spillage Road to stay with my sister for now because of the situation at hand. We were alerted from last 3 days night when the flood started coming. But we did all we could. We thought maybe it was something normal. Until yesterday this morning, the volume of the water was increasing. So we have to evacuate. Some of our valuables were lost to the flood. But at least we have lives, so we'll manage, yeah.
Wow. So when you say some of your valuables, give me an example or an idea of what people, either yourself or some of your neighbors, have actually lost in the water.
Okay, some have lost their television sets, fridges, their chairs, and all other things. You know, there are places of the residences over here that when you go there, the volume of the water can even, let's say, sink a whole human being, you see. So you have no choice than to run from your house and to find a place to hide. Yeah, that is it. So some people have lost everything. Some people have lost everything. Just like my house, we saw the thing coming earlier. So we gathered ourselves and we packed some of the things to the story building. But as I'm speaking now, I left home yesterday around 9 p.m. So I decided to come back this morning to check out. But I couldn't enter again. Because yesterday, though the water was voluminous, today, I don't know, you could see that another volume has added up. So yesterday, although I was crossing here and there, but today I couldn't do that. And we have people also traveling over there who are depending on food storage with other tenants. Because all the tenants, they pack their fridges to one place. So the people stacking over there are eating from these fridges. So that is how the situation is now.
David.
So, per the information you have, you're looking forward to coming back, what, in a day or 2 days or maybe even a week? I don't know. What are you thinking? Is there anything? I mean, I can see the water is receding. When we look at the walls that you can see the water is starting to go down. It was higher than this. What are your expectations?
Okay. We wish to return to our homes as soon as possible. But it depends on the situation, whether the water is going to recede as early as we wanted it to do or not. So we are just praying with God that, let's say, within 3 days, if everything is okay, we can return to our homes. Because we have other things over there too. That is the problem. But we hope we'll get good results too.
What about work?
Actually, for example, I work at Valkutema. But when it happened yesterday, I called my boss and he gave me off yesterday. So he asked that I should come to work today. But this morning I was there when he called me and told me I shouldn't come. I should come and check out how things are going on before I came. But I realized that there is nothing different from yesterday. So as a matter of finality, I have to go to work tomorrow. But we'll see. We'll see how the situation turns out to be.
So have you packed some clothes in here that you use?
Yeah, so far I have about 3 clothing with me. And let's say if it's not enough, or let's say if the flood is not receding enough, then I have to get some new ones to add to it.
Wow. All right. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. All right, so that was Richard that we were talking to. You can see people moving their things there further down there. So, Apioko, you can see what's going on there. You can see people moving their things. But early on, I actually spoke to some people as well. I spoke to a gentleman called Randy, who was also expressing his sentiments as to what had happened. Before we take a look at that conversation I had with him, just take a look at what's happening here. You can see the water bubbling out of the school compound.
So what we're seeing is that the water level in the school compound is so high that now it's coming out onto the road.
Exactly. Yeah, it's matching the level outside and it's bubbling out. So you can see that's going on there. Yeah, so I think, Apioko, we can take a look at the conversation that we had earlier. But there's these people coming across here. Maybe I can speak with them briefly.
What are they carrying?
Boss, good morning. Yeah. And your name, please?
Okay.
Sorry for stopping you in your movement, but are these your shop items?
Yeah, it's for my wife.
Okay. And where are you going?
So we do Weija, so we want to go and put it for the roadside. Then if you come out everything and then we take.
Okay, so you are evacuating the whole shop. I see. So is it a salon?
Yeah.
Okay. So these look like hair pieces, right?
Yeah. So my wife dey inside the shop. They come out the things.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you very much. So this is what is happening. They are evacuating the shop now. His wife is still in the shop there. They are packing the things as we speak. And and taking their things out bit by bit until they clear the shop, and they're going to move out of the neighborhood until the waters recede. As you can see, there are people sitting on top of a wall there, just to stay away from the water. But I do want to say that the water seems to actually be receding as we speak. If you look at the water level at the wall, you can see where the earlier mark of the water was.
Yeah,
exactly, and it seems to be dropping. So hopefully, maybe by close of day, it will be, not largely receded, even though it may not be dry yet. But like I said, I spoke to someone earlier, so we could take a look at that report, and then I'll be looking for. I want to move further into the neighborhood and see what the experiences are over there as well. All right, so we're still out here. We are out here in the Weija area. This is the Gar South municipality. The Weija Dam has been spilled. Obviously, as you can see, the waters behind me. I'm actually walking knee deep in the waters. Depending on the undulating nature of the road, the ground is either, the water either drops a little bit, or I have water in my boots as we speak. So it keeps going up. Right now, I'm feeling the road descending slightly. So it's very possible that water is going to get into my boots now. And if it does, I'll show you what it looks like. Yes, but so what is happening is that we're going to go further into the community. And so come with me, as myself and my cameraman, we go towards the community and see what's actually happening inside. All right. Apparently yesterday around 2 p.m. Is when the water started rising, so it means that the spillage took place earlier. But the water was much further in there. Then around 2 p.m. they noticed that it started rising around these areas here. All right, and then so through the night and everything else has risen up to this point. In conversation with some people, that we earlier spoke to. So this is the school. No, this is the building before the school. You can see, before the school, you can see the water. Clearly, when they were building, they raised the ground a bit, so it's slightly higher than where the road is itself. And as you can see over there, you can see where the water has gone in and has gone into the rooms. There's a room in there, so it looks like a security post or some kind of an office, and the water has gone in there. You can see over there. Yeah, so this is what people are having to live with and experience this morning right here in Weija, and it's barely 8 o'clock. It's not yet 8 o'clock here. It's about 7:57 per my time, and this is what we're experiencing. People are having to literally wade through the water out of their homes and come out here to, if they need to go to work, they tie their feet with plastic bags and Wellington boots if they can, to be able to get out and go. I'm sure a lot of people will not be going to work today because they're going to have to deal with water in their rooms, in their homes, and all of that. And this water, it's not like regular rainfall kind of situation. There's a lot of water that has come here, and it's sitting. It doesn't seem to be sinking very quickly. So let me speak to this gentleman here. Morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, what's your name, please?
Randy.
Randy, at what point in time did you see this water rising up to this point where we are? Do you mind just facing the camera for us? Our viewers are watching right now.
Okay, actually, I close from job. I go home around 7:30, and I noticed that the place has been flooded.
7:30 p.m.
7:30, the field has been flooded. But this is my first time noticing the situation like that. I've been in this area for, let's say, about 17 years now. Around 2005, they opened it. So it's very huge, but it didn't go to this extent.
I see. So what do you understand as being the problem that has created this? What has actually happened that has created this situation?
Okay, we are actually closer to the dam. That's the Weija Dam. And since I came to this area, what I've noticed is that we're being told that if we get to the rainy season and the area is being flooded, they have to just open the dam so that the water can just pass through. Because if they do that, so it will help rather than the dam breaking. So that's what.
But this is not the first time. This is not the first time that the dam has been opened. So, and it's never been this bad. Has it ever been this bad?
Oh no, not really. It's never been this bad like this. Yeah, I said that
So where do you live? Which part of the area do you live?
Oh, I'm just at this road, not too far from here. Yeah.
And what is home? What does home look like right now?
Okay, actually, with my place, and the place has been filled, so it's at a compound, but it hasn't entered my room yet.
So you are going home.
I'm going home.
What are you going to do if the water doesn't go down by midday?
Actually, yesterday I slept at a hotel, so if it doesn't go down, I have to just take my family back to the hotel.
Wow. And you're living with wife, kids.
My wife and kids, yeah.
All right, all the best then. Thank you very much, Randy. Thank you for speaking to us. All right, so earlier on we noticed that you were taking a lady out of the area. Was that your mother?
Yeah, not such a much like she's a mother to me.
Okay. And was it like a regular checkup, or she's been unwell over the night?
She's been well. Actually, she's not feeling well. Actually, and this condition is also not good for her health. So you just have to help her out. Yeah.
So are you going to relocate her for the time being, or she's going to come back here?
No, not now. She's now actually going to a family's place, a family home. Yeah, at Bawibulemi. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Randy. Thank you for speaking to us. All right, so that was Randy, a resident of the neighborhood, speaking to us there about the challenges they had this morning. You saw earlier on your screen, and we can see the water moving towards the eastern direction. Over here, it's flowing in this direction. You can see it coming down from the hillside there, and it seems to be running this way. As you can see the water streaming down this direction there, and so there you have it. You can see the bottle on top of the water is showing the water direction, and that's where it seems to be flowing. That must be a slightly downhill flow, and so that's where the water seems to be going. Yeah, so this is just at the on the perimeter of the talented Royals International School. All right, so we are still here. I am here with my crew at the Weija Tap Top. It's the part of the community that has been flooded, and we are directly in front of the talented Royals International School. Earlier we spoke about that, and this is a school that DJ Switch went to, and just for context you can understand where we find ourselves. So you can see the water has gone into the school there. It's flooded all the way in to the classrooms. You can see the doors downstairs at the bottom there. Water is just everywhere. The entire school is engulfed in water, and that's the hole that we saw at the corner of the wall earlier where the water was gushing out. So the water will find its way out eventually out of the school grounds, but this is a result of the decision by those in charge of the water spillage of the dam. And so as you can see, school will not function for a while. But I have a gentleman here. I want to find out from him at what point in time this place got flooded, and what he can say about this. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. So at what point did you notice water coming into the school?
Yesterday we were passing around at 9 a.m. in the morning. Then we saw the school authority evacuating the children. So less than 1 hour, 2 hours, then the entire school went under the water. So I'm a resident in the neighborhood, and it's very serious. This thing has never happened before. Has never happened before.
So, of course, we know that every year the dam gets spilled, but as you said, it's never happened before. What do you know is the reason for this year's happenings?
I can say one, climate change, number one. Two, building of unauthorized places. Then gutter choked is the main cause, and people are building on unauthorized places, not allowing the water to flow. And I heard the dam also has been spilled. So these are the major causes. So if the authorities can do something about it, prevent this galamsey, talk about this climate change issue, I think it will help and prevent these things.
All right, thank you very much for looking to us. Yeah, so as you can see, the water in the school there. We're going to try and look in further back. We're going to go into the school. Let's go into the school, and then see what's happening inside the school itself. Let me get my cameraman to come with me to go into the school. Let's see. So, Abioko, you can see that the situation is quite dire.
It is.
Here. And we haven't
course.
even gone. We haven't even gone further in where I understand the water is even more terrible in there.
So in the classrooms and whatnot. So I'm even just looking. You have a number of
So you can see,
minivans parked there, and if the water levels were higher
You
before,
see a classroom door open. Oh. Yeah. You see a classroom door open. There's water inside. Let's go there. Let's go there and get the experience for ourselves. And you see the gentleman in the water.
Yeah.
The water is climbing to his knee level. Well, I'm following him as well. The water is starting to. In fact, my Wellingtons are drenched.
If I were there, it would have been at my thighs by now.
Well, I pulled up my trousers, but it's of no benefit anymore because now the water is wetting the tips of my trousers. And so let's go in. We'll go and see the classroom here. Okay. All right. So we're in here, and I think that it's incredible.
Careful.
To see what's happening here. Yeah, it's incredible seeing what's happening here. And so so there's a slide step here. If you get to the door, there's a slide step here.
You can't even see the step. It's submerged.
No, you can't see the steps, so you just have to maneuver carefully. So you can see in the classroom here all the chairs that have been, submerged in water. And this was done very hurriedly as they were evacuating yesterday. As the gentleman said, the staff of the school were evacuating the children yesterday around 9 a.m. And that was a very smart decision they did, and on time.
Extremely.
Because look at this. Yeah. This is
terrible.
This is what we have.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. As you can see.
Terrible.
So, dramatic scenes here.
And people are not able to get their fill of education today. And that's a problem.
There's no way. I mean, they're done. They can't come to school till the water recedes and this place is cleaned up nicely.
Has become better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's just. I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm marveling at that. How did we get to this point? Decision making. We got to do better than this. I understand the challenges that we face and what was happening with the Dinsu and everything else, but I also think that we don't preempt early enough, and some of these things we should have known that the rainfall patterns. That's why we have meteorological, meteorological services and all of that. We should have been able, to preempt some of these things.
I mean, to be fair, the meteorological service did tell us somewhere last week or late last 2 weeks that there would be rains right through September. We're still in September, then we're in October, right through September, and we'll be moving into November. So they did tell us that. They even went ahead to mention some of the volumes that we should expect in different parts of the country. And
all right.
I mean, just to give some context, so maybe a lot of people still don't know what a dam is. You hear a dam has been spilled, whatnot. So just to give a little context, a dam is some kind of a barrier, blockade that's created so that you can restrict water movements. And that's usually to collect water on what we call surface water, so rivers, parts of seawater, all that. Or underground water reservoirs. You get access to them, and then we
Yes.
use this water for consumption, human consumption. We use it for irrigation in our farming. We use it for hydroelectricity, which is what we do here in Ghana. But the
Yeah.
Weija Dam in particular
Yes.
supplies about 80% of the Greater Accra area with potable
Yes.
water. So it's a very big,
Yeah.
establishment that has been put up there at Weija.
Yeah.
And the reason why
Yeah.
the operators would have to spill from time to time is that if the levels within the dam, the water that has been collected, rise beyond a certain point, it can affect and destroy
bounds.
the
Yeah.
the electricals, the machinery, all the investment
Yeah.
that goes
True.
into that. So that's just to put that into context for
True.
those who are hearing dam
So-
and don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And the Weija Dam in particular was
What it is
constructed in
exactly.
1978, so it's been there for a long time. Right, just to give
For-
us some
yeah.
context. So,
So-
David, you have
so-
someone who you like to speak to?
Yes, I do. I have somebody who works here at the school. We're going to find out a little bit about him and what's going on here. Good morning, sir. Your name, please.
My name is Anthony Togome.
Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you very much.
So you work in the school?
Yes, I'm the headmaster of the school.
You're the headmaster of the school. All right. So we have the headmaster himself. Talk to us about what has happened here.
Actually, yesterday around 10 o'clock, we observed that water was coming from the river. So quickly, we sent a message on our platform informing parents to come for their walls. Those the school buses shuttle, we asked the buses to send them home whilst we monitor the situation. So around 2, we were here till 4 o'clock. We saw that the water kept on coming.
So when you say the water was coming, you saw the water coming. Where was the water coming from? On the road? You saw it on the road, or where? What exactly was it?
You know, we are not too far from the river, Denso River. So we saw the water coming from that side onto the streets. And quickly we had to take precautions and do the right thing. Yeah, that's what we did exactly.
Now, have you spoken to any of the authorities within your community, the MCE, the assembly? Have you spoken to anybody, waterworks? Have you spoken to anybody at all?
No, we haven't spoken to anybody so far.
Okay. All right. So, what are your hopes then? I mean, in a few days or maybe a week, that this place will be ready to have the students again?
See, this morning we have come back to monitor the situation. You could see that water is receding bit by bit at a lower pace. So we are hoping that by tomorrow next, the situation will normalize and we'll come back to work because we are preparing our children for exams. Exams is in 2 weeks' time. So we are praying hard. We are praying.
So,
it's
David,
a natural disaster. We can't do anything about it for now.
Yes, Abeka, I can hear
David,
you.
yes, I have a question for the headmaster. So he mentioned that
Okay,
they saw
okay.
water coming towards them, and that's what prompted them to evacuate the students and the staff. But
Yeah.
had they heard at any point
Yeah.
that the dam was going to be spilled? Had that news reached them even before they saw the water coming yesterday?
All right. So my co-host in the studio
All right.
is asking the question that you saw the water coming, all right?
Yeah.
But at any point, had you heard from authorities that the dam was going to be spilled and that it may affect you?
Actually, no. No, we haven't received any message from them. I don't know whether some other people heard, but from my colleagues, nobody was aware. Nobody was aware.
In the
We only
past,
saw
have they received
the
such
water coming
messages?
And quickly, we have to do the right thing.
So let me ask. In the past, have you ever been given updates or forewarning that the dam spillage is going to happen, and so people should be prepared and careful in case of overflow and all of that? In the past, has it ever happened?
Yes. In the past years, we do see messages on the platforms and we listen to messages or what you call news from studios and
Okay, so basically like radio and public announcements and things, that's where you get your
yes, from the media. Yes. And this particular one, we've been here for more than 6 years. This thing has never happened. Though we are aware they do open the dam every year, almost every year. This thing has never happened here before. Yes. So actually we don't know the cause. We are not expecting it. Yes.
So we've been speaking with Anthony, who is the headmaster of the school, and we're going to take leave of him now and go out into the community further. So as you can see, there are various minivans marooned here in the school. It's a very I don't even know how to describe it. Worrying and very trying. The kids will definitely not come back to school until the waters have receded fully, and then also the school cleaned, because you can imagine the mess that the water receding is going to leave.
Yes, and the property affected. I'm looking at the minivan sitting there in the water. If the levels were higher before, I can only imagine the kind of water damage that may have happened.
Exactly.
Exactly. And really, we're living in a time when living costs are extremely high, fuel is expensive, maintenance of any kind of vehicle is a challenge, for anyone.
You can see over there in the distance. Yeah, you can see over there in the distance people evacuating their shops. There, as you can see,
carrying their things on their heads.
Carrying their things on their head. And these are, small businesses in kiosks within the neighborhood.
So,
and
David, since you got there, have you,
yes,
with the people you've spoken to, has anyone mentioned to you that any life has been lost, anything of that sort?
No, it doesn't seem that any life has been lost yet in the conversations that I've had so far, simply because it wasn't one of those situations where they had hours to see the water rise slowly, so people have taken a lot of evasive action. Those who were not at home came to find that some of their equipment like fridges, TVs and things, but those who were in the houses were able to move some of their things to safety. And so from the conversations we've had so far, it doesn't appear that anybody has lost their life, and hopefully it stays that way.
Yes.
Hopefully it stays that way. Yeah. So you can see this truck here in front of me. We're going to go a little further and see there's a property here, and it looks like the property here is actually lower. In terms of its building, it's lower in than the school, which is next door.
Right.
And so when we get in here, you see a car that has literally been submerged.
More than three-quarters of the way up.
There's a car over there that's completely submerged. Well, not completely submerged.
About three-quarters of the way,
Yes. It's reached their doors, and they are also trying to evacuate. Just as you can see, gas bottle on the wall, some other wash basins and so on. As we go, you see a poly tank in the corner there. This is really crazy. I mean, yeah.
David, do you have any reports of, NADMO coming through, the fire service? You mentioned gas bottle, gas cylinder, as many would call it. And I'm just thinking, homes have gas cylinders because you have gas cookers and whatnot. And that's a hazard if there's so much water. Are we seeing any of these entities, fire service, anyone around, or have you heard
No.
that
There's no sign.
Contact has been made?
Well, there's no sign of anyone here. There's no sign of emergency services. There's no sign of, sometimes these flooding situations, you have the army coming, the navy coming in with their boats and all of that to rescue people. There's no sign of any of that happening here at all. And so, as I've been here for since the beginning of the show. That's 7:30. You see, there's been no sign of any emergency services, no fire service, no police, no NADMO. There's nobody here. It's just the residents here trying to, figure out what they'll do with themselves. As you can see, there's a gentleman coming towards us, wading in the water with his boxer shorts.
Yeah, he can't wear his trousers. Not in this water.
No, he can't. He's holding his trousers. He's actually holding his trousers. and he's waiting with his boxer shorts and coming. I'm sure he's probably going to work,
Yeah.
and so he has to get to work dry. It's a very unfortunate situation. You don't want to talk to us? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a couple of words, maybe. Yeah? Whatever you're feeling, however you feel about this situation. Where are you going? Where are you going?
I work at Kolebu Hospital, so I'm going.
You're going to the office, yeah? And so do you live here?
Yeah, I live here. I've been living here since 2018. Around 12 yesterday, my landlady called me. There's a situation. So when I got here, I couldn't drive through. I have to call a friend at McCarthy Hill to park. So I have to come like this. So I'm going to work. So when I cross...
Going to McCarthy Hill to pick your car and before you go to work.
Yeah. So when I cross, I'll use water to... Yeah, then wear my trouser, then shoe, then go. So this is the situation. Luckily, about 6 houses are quite raised. So we are very lucky. Water didn't enter our house. So, and it's a story building as well. So we are very lucky. So we are putting out with what we have now. Okay.
What do you feel about the decision to spill in the way they've done it? Because I hear in the times past, it's never happened because they've only opened 2 gates. This time they decided to open 4 gates and then all at once.
I don't want to talk about this because we all know the situation in the country, and I don't know. There's nothing to say. Everything speaks for itself. So you are the best judges. Judge for yourself whether we are in the right or wrong direction. It speaks for itself. No light since yesterday. You can't charge your phone, nothing. So you can't be at home.
So they've turned out the power here.
Yeah, I hear all the transformers are in the water, so you can't. Yeah, I have a friend. Everything is Jerry. My heart goes to you. The family has to move to Domi. Yesterday I saw him here. He said he's going to spend the night at Choice. His story building is submerged.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So at this rate, are you going to come back here after work?
Yeah, this will have to come. I have to call some few friends and see whether I can put up with them because I've been living here. The idea of living somewhere, I don't know. I can't iron. You can't wash your clothes. Basically, there's no power, so there's nothing you can do. So I have to call some few friends and see whether I can put up with them. Yeah, that's the situation.
Your name, please.
I'm Kekeli, yeah.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, and all the best.
I watch your program.
You watch us. All right, thank you very much. Okay, so that's Kekeli
David,
sharing with us
David,
his frustration.
I can't
Abioko.
look. And you see, it's
very
easy to tell yourself
Kekeli,
that it will not happen to you, But we're seeing people, and we've spoken to people as you're just walking through the community there at Weija Bawe this morning at Ashford. You've spoken to people from different walks of life. There's a gentleman who is helping his wife remove things from her hair shop or her shop that sells hair supplies. You've seen the gentleman who had to take his mother figure to the hospital. And then now you've seen Kekeli, who is on his way to work. He works at Kolebu's, had to park his car at McCarthy Hill because he was fortunate to hear that this situation was there. The man is carrying his trousers and his shoes, just wading through the water to find his way to work. Because, I mean, if you've lost anything or you're even going to stay with a friend, when you go and stay there, you still need to eat. You still need to contribute to your quota, and so you need to work. So life doesn't stop. It can't stop. And it's a very, very, very heartbreaking situation that we're seeing. And I think our viewers agree. We have some messages, David. I would just like to read them. Someone says, I empathize with the residents, and I also encourage them to hold the government responsible.
Come.
Okay, so that's, the person doesn't give their name, but that's a message coming through. As a reasonable citizen in the country, if we fail to do the right thing at the right time, the natural laws will surely deal drastically with us. If it's not by mistake that the Densu River and the Brim overflow their banks and cause damage to life and property and the people living around, it's because of bad habits of the citizenry. If we throw garbage into the rivers and also allow Galamsey to destroy the rivers, what do we expect? We're yet to experience the worst from our river bodies. And this is from Yao Osankide in Taifa. So people have varied opinions, and I mean, look, So David
So
has
Abioko,
someone
I've been
as
also
well, David.
Yeah. Yes, so a gentleman, I just saw him. He seems to be heading back home. I want to find out from him what his experience has been. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes. Your name, please.
I'm Mohammed.
Mohammed, welcome to Breakfast Daily, and thank you for stopping to talk to us. Mohammed, so I noticed that you've gone to buy yourself some supplies, to have some breakfast and so on this morning. At what time did you leave home this morning?
Yeah, I left home this morning around 8. Though my house is here, I'm on the story building.
Okay.
But you need some stuff for your family. So I have to make sure I go out to find something for my family to eat.
Yeah.
So you understand? Yeah. This thing started yesterday around, let's say, around 4 thereabouts. Initially, it started over there.
Okay.
We never thought that it will get up to this place. So it's a very big surprise to us to see things like this. We haven't experienced this for about 10 years.
How long have you lived in the area?
I've lived in this area for about 8 years now.
About 8 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, Mohammed, what about work? What are you going to do?
As you can see, there's no way we can go to work because you have family at home, schools are closed. So
Your children go to school in the area?
yeah, they go, and their school where they school is also flooded. Yeah, it's flooded. So you can see it's a very difficult situation. Now we are appealing to government to come to our aid, come to support us or something. Yeah.
Mohammed, thank you so much for speaking to us. We really appreciate your time. Thank you. So, speaking to Mohammed there, I actually noticed him, Apioko, because he was carrying some bread and other supplies in his polythene bag, and I just thought to myself, here's somebody who's actually waded through the water to go and get breakfast.
Yeah.
And truly, yes, that's exactly what it is he had done, because his family are home, the kids are home, and they can't go to school,
Right.
so they're all marooned in their house. But somebody's got to do something. So he's
Exactly.
waded
They
in the
still
water
have
to
to
go.
survive. Human beings have
He's
to
wading back home to take them food. Yeah. And Happy, I don't know how to feel about this situation, and the water is rushing down from that side. As you can see, he's walking towards that direction, but that's where the water is also coming from. So there are different higher points, and from all the high levels, the water is flowing downwards to the lower ground. So it's actually flowing towards us where we are at the moment.
Yeah, the way the currents are moving, you can see that.
mm.
David, I have a
Yes,
couple
yes,
more
yes, yes.
messages here. Ghana,
Yes, please
Ghana,
read-
Ghana.
please read those,
So
yeah.
when will we get things right? Is it today that we've been spilling dams? Couldn't the people have got to know? Now livelihood is affected. And that's coming in from Ifwa at Spintex. And I mean, she's right. Like I said, the Weija Dam was constructed in 1978, and throughout the years there have been spillages. We've had different kinds of situations going on. Of course, we're learning that this year, because of the nature of the rainfall patterns, somebody mentioned climate change earlier when David was speaking to him, all of that. In the last few days, we've seen and heard that the River Densu has overflowed its banks, and the Weija Dam is right on the River Densu, the Weija Bawe area. And so they've had to open 4 gates instead of 2, as they would usually do. And we're seeing the level of devastation that it's causing in the surrounding communities. And again, we're asking, have we not thought about this? Did we not see it happening? How can we fix the problem? Where do we go from here? Because really, it could have been worse. We could have been seeing numbers of lives lost. We could have been seeing fire outbreaks, because once water touches electricity, once water touches fire, once water touches gas or any kind of fuel, there's the likelihood that a fire can come out of that. So it's really, and the children, they're not able to go to school. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, it's frustrating, and it makes you wonder a lot about the leadership that we have in the country and our decision-making processes. Because even when the flooding has happened, at least maybe there are other parts of the community, but they're not here, and they've not been here the entire time I've been here. I've been here for, I don't even know what the time is at the moment, but since 7:30 we've been here, and no sign of any rescue teams or NADMO, fire service, nobody at all. But like you said, the power is out, so that's a double whammy, as it were. Now I have a gentleman here. We met him earlier in the morning when we came, but you haven't seen him yet, and I'm going to introduce him right now. Please, what's your name?
Philip Osefree.
Okay. So this is Philip. Now Philip earlier was taking his mother. He was assisted by Randy. Randy we spoke with earlier, and Randy's mother figure, that is Philip's mother. Okay, and they took her to the hospital. So Philip will give us a bit more context about that. Philip, so I saw you coming from the direction where the water is rushing down. Is that where your home is?
Yeah, that's my home. Just this house.
Which one?
Just the ash one.
Right.
Just this one. Yeah.
The first building
The
here.
first building.
Oh, okay. The one that's the one that story building is behind.
No, in front of the store.
Right here, the one in front of the story building. That's your house. Okay, okay. And at what point in time has water gone into your house?
Yes.
Okay.
It has entered all our rooms.
All your rooms.
Yes.
Wow. And so, at what point in time did the water start coming into the rooms?
Okay, I think yesterday around 9 to 10 p.m.
Oh wow! In the night. So, what was the thinking when the water started coming in? What was everybody thinking? Because I'm sure mommy was at home at that point.
She was at home, and we had employees also, so we have to move into one room that is higher. And so this morning, almost all of them are gone. But I have to stay at home and make sure that everything is in place.
When you say employees, do you run a business there?
Run a business, yeah.
You're running a business.
Run a kinky business, yeah.
Kinky business there. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So today it goes without saying that there's no business today.
No, there's no business today.
Wow. So livelihoods lost for the day. The water level is higher at your end than here. So I don't know. What are you thinking? How are you feeling?
It is very bad because we didn't get any communication, nothing. Because first we saw the water coming. That was, I think, yesterday around 7 a.m. Like to 8:30 a.m. it was just coming. And so we didn't get any. So normally it comes and ends at that point. Yes. So we thought, but we saw that it was rushing from this side, and the other side. Yes. So we had no choice. We didn't get a time to move because some of us, we've been here over a decade. Because us moving out. But my problem is we were not communicated to. And they were telling us one dam is breaking, the hydraulics of one dam is spoiled. So we're not even told the actual problem. So we are just waiting. We can't go anywhere now. And I've not seen any rescue boats. So yesterday, I have to volunteer and take the old people across. Yesterday, plenty people left the area. Plenty.
So wait, hold on. So you're saying that there was a team of people, including yourself, who were taking out the elderly from the community?
Yes.
I see. But taking them to where?
To a safer ground. Okay. Yesterday, let's say, to the roadside, it wasn't that flooded. So we carried them to that side. And they are safe down and they can find their way out. Just for them to get out of this danger zone, yeah.
Wow. When is mommy coming back?
For now, I'm not sure she'll be coming back anytime soon. The water has to subside down and make sure that everything is in place. Because she can't be risking her health and stuff. Because when she woke up, the water is just at a waist level. Yes, and it is very bad. So we just have to just...
So basically, at this dawn, the waters were like what? So give me What was the highest level in this experience that has happened? Where was the highest level the water reached? Around here. Goodness gracious. Wow. Philip, thank you for talking to us. And we hope that we all get respite soon. All right. Thank you.
I always want communication is the key. If I had communicated earlier, I would have known what to do. But we were just there, no communication, and it just came. It just made us impromptu. So next time, I'm not saying this should happen next time, but I believe there are engineers who were able to read those things. They can even forecast this because is the rainfall that amount. Yes. So they should be able to calculate these things, and so these things will not happen. Because now I think 10 employees, they are all gone because they are afraid of their lives.
Yes, of course.
They are all gone. Now business is just at a standstill.
All right. Thank you very much. We've been talking to Philip, and there's a 4-wheel drive attempting to come through the waters as we speak.
Very brave.
He's wading through the waters. Yeah. He's just driving through. You can see it. Yeah.
But David,
So,
I mean, I was
Abioko.
listening to what Philip was saying, and indeed, pretty much everyone you have spoken to has said it, that, look, they didn't expect this. It hasn't happened before. I mean, Philip, whom you just spoke to, said he's lived there for a decade or a little more. Now, again, we must reiterate the fact that this time, even though, yes, the Weija Dam has been spilled in the past, this time it's been spilled through all 4 of its gates, as opposed to 2, which has been the case in the past. And this is because water levels have risen in terms of rainfall, in terms of the River Densu, where the dam sits, overflowing its banks and whatnot. Now, one may say, okay, yes, it took them by surprise. Of course, it would take the residents by surprise if you haven't experienced this before. And then in 2022, this is what comes your way after a decade. It will take you by surprise. But just like Philip said again, couldn't we have forecasted this? I really, at some point, hope that we do get to
that's
speak
my
to
biggest issue.
the authorities and the institutions whom are in charge of this whole situation, different aspects, the different layers of it, and ask the questions that couldn't we have preempted it? Couldn't we have at least predicted that at XYZ time, because it's been raining from this point to this point, water levels have been from here to there, as opposed to the past 2 years, the past 3 years, the past 5 years. This is likely to happen. The water is likely to move when it usually ends at point B near the King K stall. This time, it will move all the way to point Z or point X or whatever it is where the wache is being sold. We really need to start looking at these things. We are just too reactive as a society, way too reactive. And now look at what's happening. We spill the dam. Yes, we need to protect it. That's an investment, a national investment, right? And it serves us in so many different ways that we probably haven't even realized. Like I mentioned earlier, about 80% of Accra, Greater Accra's potable water comes from the Weija Dam and what the operation there is like. However, look at the way livelihood has been affected. And if for potable water, this is what we have to suffer for, somebody will start asking themselves, then to what end? To what end? And there's a message coming in here from Mame Edufua Arthur. I believe she lives in the Weija Gbawe area or in the Ashbred area. She says, no life has been lost. We're just losing our property. No life has been lost. We're just losing our property. And there's a tweet here as well that has come through. I feel very sad about this Weija Dam spillage. The footage is very devastating. Hundreds of residents displaced. Where will they go from here? So Ghana is feeling it. There are the residents and what they're going through, but Ghana is feeling, because like I said, it could be any of us. It could be any of us. If somebody has lived in this Weija area for over a decade and they've never experienced this, and then one day you wake up in the morning and see water running towards you, and now you have to run for your life. It can happen to any of us, and we should be concerned.
So, very concerned. So there's a very famous pub in the whole community. It's called the AJ Pub. Now, I don't know if AJ Sapon has anything to do with this, but
Perhaps.
it's called the AJ Pub.
Maybe she has shares.
Yeah, perhaps. I know, right? I know. Maybe she has shares here. I don't know. But there's some gentlemen here, and we would like to engage them and find out what the experience has been. Have they had water go in and all of that? But yeah, this is a very, very popular pub in the neighborhood. Let me speak to this gentleman over here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome to Breakfast Daily on Citi TV.
It's not so good, but good.
It's not so good, right? Yeah. What has your experience been? I mean, I can see that some fridges are out and here and all that. Has water gone into the building at all? What has your experience been?
Thankfully, no. There hasn't been any water in the house, just where we are standing. Yeah. Yesterday we all came back from work around 5 p.m. The whole place was flooded. They had to park cars over there and just walk through to come and make sure that everything is safe here. But thankfully, the agent popping in the house is fine. Yeah.
But so do you live around as well?
Yeah, I live here.
I'm sure this morning you've been seeing a lot of people moving up and down, carrying their things and all that. How does that make you feel? I mean, being a citizen of Ghana, being a resident within the neighborhood and all of that, what is going through your mind? How are you feeling and thinking?
I'm sad, especially when you see the kids being carried, see people carrying their luggage, everything, their household. Yesterday I was talking to someone who lived down there. The whole house is flooded. They couldn't even save a penny from the house. And it's very sad that we're not even warned. You know, things like this, they have to tell us so that we can save the little things that we can and prepare for it. We're not warned. We left in the morning, the place was dry, and we came back and everywhere is flooded. That's not good. It's not good at all. So whoever is in charge must be sanctioned. And I don't know, we've not seen the NADMO here. We know they've gone to the other side, but there are people down there who are suffering. People are stuck in their house. If they can get some trailer or something to go and save them and save some of their stuff. There are kids there. There's even a school there. We don't know what happened to it. So if the authorities can gather some people, some big cars, some trailers to just pass through the water, go and save the people down there, it will be very helpful.
So, from what you're describing, it seems as though the land, the topography of the land dips down there. So then there's more water on that side.
And that place is closer to the dam.
Okay, as well.
This is worse, but I mean it's a bit better compared to down there. Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing with us. I mean, it's a devastating experience for anybody to go through. Your name again, please.
My name is Fifi Bakman.
Fifi. All right. Thank you. Thank you for speaking to us. All right. Okay. And we wish this will recede as quickly as possible. Yeah.
Apparently, they are going to open the other dams, but they should let us know. At least, if we heard they've not opened all, if they are going to open the rest, they should let us know or something. I don't know, because this is bad. This is terrible. We don't want to blame anyone, but it's terrible. Yeah.
All right. Well, you heard Fifi there speaking to us. Happy. It's bad everywhere. Everybody's just had a terrible
and everyone
experience.
and so the reason why I asked you to kindly pass on the question to the gentleman you spoke to earlier. I mean, we've said several times this morning that the residents didn't expect this. They didn't expect this because it hasn't happened this magnitude before, where the Weija Dam has been spilled and it's affected them in this way. We've established that this year, 4 out of the gates, I mean all 4, have been spilled through, when usually we'd have spilled through 2, as far as the Weija Dam is concerned. Okay, so it's something that the residents didn't expect. But they're all asking for communication. Why weren't they communicated to? Even if it was impromptu, you know, are there no protocols for communicating emergency situations like this, especially when you know that it has the potential to affect people in this way, on this scale? And again, we haven't seen NADMO there yet. We haven't seen any of the emergency services yet. Please,
nobody's
NADMO. Weija, the Weija Bawe area, the Ashbred area, please, if you're hearing us, if you're watching us, if you're seeing us, Please get your officials on the ground. People are carrying their things from their homes, trying to find higher ground, trying to make sure that they can just save their lives and what little of their property they have left. Please get there and let's see how we can address the situation. So, David, I see someone in short with you. You'd like to speak to
so
him.
there's a gentleman here. Let me find out his name and let's have a short conversation with him. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, boss.
Your name?
My name is Bright.
Okay. So Bright, I'm looking at my situation right now, and I can see how I took Wellington boots because I heard it would be muddy, but the water has entered into my boots. Your experience must be terrible.
Sure. Well, it started like yesterday around 4 to 5 p.m. So we were not expecting something like this. I stayed just back here, and I parked my car on the roadside. That's what I started yesterday and today too. So I'm continuing my journey. You can see my bags.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have clothes
exactly.
and all of that. Okay.
So I'm going to Kaswa to take a bath, and from there maybe I'll move on to work or to continue my activities. There's a lot of people who has also been moved out. And there's my friends also in the room. They can't even go out to buy food because no one is going to risk their life to pass this one, go buy food for them. So it is what it is, sure.
Thank you, and all the best. All right, all the best. So you can see it. It's not a joking situation. I have a gentleman in the back here. I want to speak to. He seems really, really frustrated, as I can imagine he would be. And he insisted on speaking to us by all means to share his frustrations. Boss.
Hello. How are you? I'm fine.
Okay. Your name, please.
My name is Sylvester Wilson-Odum.
Okay, Sylvester.
Wilson-Odum. Yes, good.
Talk to us.
Yeah. This place they have built all these places with houses. See, they have filled the places. The water even can't take the gutter to where it's supposed to go. Okay. They have filled all those places. So they have to come to let us know where the water is passing. Me soon fan me some kasan me soon fan me soon for all soon for ho. Chow. No one ya done where in the ma ourselves about
if you there or your buildings now what we see what block you know
can should be in although you be offer chow it's I only be car na sele by in the crown that because it's well na fine nti should be so in there how we find so honest we for no fa nti ni aka ho bi nti won hwe no won ye ne ye nti mpemfunu won mpemfunu kasa won kasa wo hwe nti won kasa ye hia mi jira ma aka ni mi je ma aka ni
na unyama aka no
afra me ko ma tell imi ase imi na ase when you find them tell you pay for where are we tell
nti wanti won in bia there bibi dey besi
one for one in bia mba nti abi awona wo Weija hon ayim there nsuto son nti awo fom nti e wora tisunu nti yim nsu ho adwuma dey nsu to soro a oyi wo fom nti wo de garden sa ayama nka egbeli kakra ansa mo ofisoro leban awaka ho achuma adna be kan na egbo yin agu menka se biom yo bye bye.
So you can see the level of frustration, and he's saying exactly what we've been talking about. You knew there were rains. You knew the rains were coming from the Densu was filling up. The Densu was filling up, and the Densu runs into the Weija. So what are you waiting for? Why are you not spilling? Why do you wait till it becomes critical? Then you suddenly open 4 gates, spill everything, and create this mayhem. And the people don't even know that a spillage is about to happen. Not enough. I'm feeling the frustration, and you can hear what he said. I mean, for those who don't understand the fancy that he spoke, he was basically saying that if water has a way to, a course which is going to traverse, right? That's the course it's going to traverse. If you build and you block the path, it's going to spill into other spaces. Okay, that it shouldn't do ordinarily. And then also he's talking about the issue of the actual spillage itself, that every time water fills at the top level or the higher level, it's going to flow downhill. So if it's going to flow downhill, can you not anticipate and spill the water slowly, gently, as has been done in the past? Why do you wait for it to reach breaking point and then you spill suddenly and create this mayhem? And so that's basically what our last gentleman there was saying.
And David, that's the other part of the conversation. That, I mean, not to kick people when they're down or to put salt into injury, you know what I mean? But really, as far as the Weija Bawe community is concerned, over the years, we've been talking about how people have been building on waterways. We've been talking about this. Even with the Weija Dam itself, there have been conversations about how people have encroached on it. People are doing sand winning within the dam and its environs and all that. And this is what will happen, This is what will happen if we also don't do the right thing as citizens. So it's a double-edged blade. There's what the authorities need to do. That includes ensuring that where people are building, people have licenses to build there. And it's not because someone has the most money and can afford the most cement blocks, and so let them build. There are serious conversations we need to have. But every single time these conversations come up, and now see what we're having to deal with. And there are a few messages here. What is the essence of the Ghana Navy and the Air Force in this country? That's what a viewer is asking. And then someone also says, have you asked Weija residents if they have building permits? What will happen if the dam breaks? And that's a very good question, and I don't want to think about what will happen if that does happen. And then there's a tweet here coming in. There's a tweet as well. I honestly think we should remove all the buildings around the Weija Dam area. I think that can help in so many ways to the betterment of the community. This is devastating and has to stop. I'm sad. David.
Yeah. And so, I mean, the issue of permits and all of that, I mean, this is under the assembly. So really, I don't know, the assembly has to decide what it is going to do. By way, I know that there were some demolitions that happened like a month ago, a couple of months ago. There were demolitions that took place right here in the community to clear buildings that were not, situated correctly. But as to whether they have permits or not, I mean, that's something that the assembly alone can answer.
Of course.
I
mean, even as you were walking around,
built in the
even as you were walking around, I did see some, unpainted walls that had stop work by, and all the different things that we see when it comes to the assembly or to the authorities' attention that certain people who are building in certain places don't have the right authorization to do so, right? So that's another side of the conversation. But again, we cannot pretend that the people in charge needed to inform the residents. They needed to have informed them. And again, I'm saying that, granted, maybe you didn't predict the rains. Nobody is God. Maybe you didn't anticipate the level of devastation that would befall the people when the dam would be spilled. Again, we don't know what the future holds. But are you telling me that we don't have situations and systems in place so that when emergency things like this pop up, we deal with it a certain way? That is a problem. That is a problem. We know that the Weija Dam has 4 different gates through which we can spill. And we never anticipated that there'll be one day where we have to spill through all of them. And in case that happened, in the worst case scenario, X and Y is what we would do. And this is how we would communicate with the people to make sure that at least a minimal level of effect is what would befall them. We couldn't do that. That's a problem. And again, once again, we are calling on NADMO. If it's the army we need to shout to or call out to, the people need help. We see them, the people need help. So please get there as soon as possible and do what needs to be done to protect people from what they're experiencing.
Yeah, so Happy, I think from here, I'm not going to go further in because a lot of the residents have already left, the area as it is, and to deal with what they have to deal with for the rest of the day. So we will sign out from here, from the Weija area, Ashbread community specifically, and there's a top community where the Ashbread bridge is. We want to just call on all, like Apioko said, we call on all the NADBO, the first responders, whoever it is that is in charge, the assembly. There's work to be done. People are in their homes, they are marooned in the back there. Others have found a way of getting out and they're going and coming. Some are leaving the community for now. Whatever it is, we need to get on top of things and let's show leadership. This is the time to show leadership. All right. And so those of you who are duty bearers, you know what to do.
All right, David, we do hope that you get back to the studios of Citi TV safely and soundly with the rest of the crew, the rest of the team. And again, I hear that NADMO officials have made it to some other parts of the community, I suppose, where they would typically find the effects of a dam spillage at Weija, but they're not really sure, or they must not know that this is what has happened at the Ashbread or the top area in the Weija Bawe community. So please, NADMO, get there. Any other first responders, any other emergency entities who are hearing us, who can see us, if you are watching and you have access to someone, an official, to an office, to a phone number, please keep the lines blowing up and let the people of the Weija Bawe community, the Ashbread community, get some assistance from these authorities. This is Breakfast Daily. Again, if you have anything you want to share with us, you want to share experiences, perhaps you're a victim of this devastation that we're seeing in the Weija Bawe area, or you know someone, you're housing someone, a friend, a family member, and you're just being a good Samaritan, and you're seeing, or you're just really a Ghanaian who is empathizing with what's going on there and what the people are experiencing at the moment, you may send us a WhatsApp message 0550-585-832, 0550-585-832. And of course, if you're texting us from outside of Ghana and you also want to join in the conversation, you have some words that you want to share with us, some ideas that you want to share with us, use the country code +233. And again, across all social media platforms, the hashtag Breakfast Daily is available for your use. My name is Apioko. Let's go for a break, and when we come back, Breakfast Daily continues.